Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Creative Collective, where we think outside the box, guys. Our guest tonight, Michael Walsh. I met Michael when I first joined Sub2 and Gator and developed a friendship with Michael over the last year. The dude's awesome. He's got an awesome CRM that he's built. He's the co-founder of Uprank Pro with his wife, Angela, who is also a rock star, similar to my wife. Uprank is a sales and marketing suite plus CRM. He has spoken on stage and worked with people like Carlos Reyes, Alex Sains,
Signs.
thank you,
Yep.
Max Maxwell, and Pace Morby, the GOAT. He's helped many high-profile clients and brands in the real estate industry build out systems, processes, and or around automation and marketing. Awesome, man. Michael, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Lance. It's really good to be here, and I'm excited to bring some value to the table today.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a week now. We're getting better at our marketing. It's tough sometimes, but
Yeah.
we're trying to stay as consistent as we can. Every single week we're going to show up, no matter how messy or how put together the show is. We're coming.
Yeah. Well, that's really what marketing is. Sorry to cut you off there,
Yeah,
but
no.
so often like people, they start something. It's like the New Year's resolution. They start something
Yeah.
and they do it for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, what happened? Where'd they go? And marketing is really about finding the thread and then pulling that, just consistently pulling that thread, and don't stop on that thread and then run and find another thread, because you're already halfway on the one thread. Why not just pull it all the way out?
Ooh, that's good. Great advice. Starting off with the gold, man. Woo. Awesome, bro. Okay, let's start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah.
What did you do before real estate, and how did you end up getting into the real estate in the CRM world? Or you can go into one or the other.
do you really have time for this story? No, I mean, to put it in a nutshell, it was maybe 5 years ago or so. I started off, I was actually running a fitness business at the time. And I ended up getting asked by Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels to be on his speaking team. And so I ended up joining his speaking team, learned a whole bunch of stuff from Russell, which is a super cool guy. And so I learned a bunch from him and his team. And basically I started going out to events on behalf of ClickFunnels and speaking and setting up at the booths and all that kind of stuff. And I ended up having somebody come up. We started talking. And from there on in, he was in real estate. He got me involved with other people in real estate. And then all of a sudden I found myself, I was working with people like Carlos Reyes, Alex Sainz, Sal Shakir, Pace Morby. Funny story about that is Carlos actually had him in his podcasting studio, and they were actually like interviewing him, and I had no clue who Pace Morby was. And so to me, it was just like, oh, hey, how's it going? It's nice to meet you. And we're just chit-chatting about it and stuff. Well, literally, I was like, yeah, this guy seems like he might be pretty big. He might actually have a following or something. And then I found out, who Pace Morby was. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
I love that.
And yeah. So
awesome.
So I got started there, started doing that. So I started in real estate. I was kind of doing dabbling in real estate while doing the marketing and tech side for real estate companies. And then it just kind of took off. I kind of just stayed in the tech side a little bit more because I love the real estate side, but I love mixing the tech in. And so that's when I got really into the automations for real estate versus just automations in marketing for everybody.
Awesome. My boy Chad over there nodding. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, he's eating it up. Awesome, bro. So I don't know if you told us where you're from.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cincinnati,
Okay.
Ohio. So
that's right. I do the same thing, man. When I'm interviewed, I'll go back and watch my interviews so I can get better at podcasting and doing interviews. And I'll sometimes get so excited or have something in my head, and I'll totally not even answer the question that was asked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. But that's awesome, bro. So sweet, man. So how did you come across like so you're basically building your system is called Uprank Pro.
Yep,
Uprank Pro. It's a whitewashed label of go high level, right?
Yeah, parts of it are, yes.
Okay.
And then we have our own back end systems on it that we've built, and then we also have other softwares that are built into it that are ours also. So it's
Okay,
kind of
cool.
a, with high level, if you think about high level is basically a shell.
Mhm.
And so when you go get high level, you get a shell. And
Right.
then the marketers, the goal was always for the marketers then to build out that shell. So that's where we kind of started, and we started with that. But then we have started adding in integrations. We actually are working on a deal with a much larger company, a couple of them actually. We're a couple of deals that we're working on with some direct integrations to them. And so we'll be literally the only CRM that can integrate directly into them. And
Wow.
so yeah.
That's
So
impressive.
so we're trying to do something a little different than the typical, CRM that's out there. We try to take a different path, I guess you could say, forge a new
Mm.
way.
I love it, bro. I love it. I mean, it took me a while. I'm not techie. Well, okay, I need to stop saying it. My coach keeps saying,
Yeah.
stop saying that you're not this, you're not that, dude. You're holding yourself back. So,
Yep.
okay, I wasn't techie and I'm learning some tech,
Yep.
thanks to you and my boy Chad up here. But yeah, man, sweet, dude. So let's get into the system a little bit. Let's talk about what sets up Rank Pro, aside, what makes you stand out from other CRMs?
Okay. So back end stuff that we do when it comes to deliverability, really working heavy on the email deliverability on the back end side. We also have been adding some new things that are going to be starting to come out to rolling out soon to your account and anybody else who is in UpRank right now.
Nice.
And so it's going to be more AI focused.
Yes.
2024 is really, think about it this way, as you're building your business. 2024 is going to be the change into the AI revolution. It's just something that's going to happen. We can
Mhm.
say, I don't want it, I don't like it, but it's going to happen. And so you have a choice. Like, do you embrace the good parts of it and use those for your benefit? Or do you say, you know what, I don't like it, so I'm going to throw out the baby with the bathwater? The thing is when you do that, guess what happens? You lose out on so many great things that could happen for your business. But then on the other hand, what will happen is people will take AI and they'll trust it too far. And so
Mm.
what we've started doing is, for example, like we differ in our chat system. Our AI chat system differs from the other, high level type accounts, stuff like that. It differs from, Salesforce or HubSpot or any of those systems, because what we do is we really are focusing in on the booking of appointments, and we're focusing in on it from an investor, a lender, from the real estate market point of view, and then we'll build out from there. So we're really
Mhm.
focusing on all those prompts because AI is about prompting. If you're
Mhm.
not getting what you want from AI, then it's because you're not prompting it correctly.
Mm.
You're
That's
just not
good.
giving it the right directions.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So my wife is big on Chat GTP and GTP.
GP,
Sorry. Is it GPT?
GPT, GPT.
Yeah, and I'm like, I watch her like talk to it and like adjust and okay, well, I want this now. I want this without this. Now add this and take away
Mm-hmm.
this. No, it's too much. Less of this, more. And I'm like, whoa! And this thing's
Yep.
spitting out. I'm just like tripping out, and that is wild, man.
Yeah. And
It's wild.
it's really nice because it's like, if you think about it, like from the simple standpoint, like think about how many contracts a real estate investor does, an agent does, a lender does. And if you just had something to say, hey, what's different from this one and this one? And you could pull all those lines. I mean,
Hmm.
starting using it just for simple stuff, and you're learning prompting right there. And as you do that, you just grow on your prompts. And if you don't get what you want, it's just because you weren't clear. And your wife has probably learned that along the way. She's
Yeah.
probably been like, dang it doesn't give me what I want. And then
Uh
what she
huh.
gets is she starts building up her basically her arsenal of prompts to be able to get what she wants.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I'd say is going to stand us out. The other thing is our integrations with partners and building strategic partnerships that we're building with
Yeah.
bigger companies.
Nice.
Basically going in and saying, hey, we're going to take care of, making sure that your people all have an UpRank account.
Hmm.
Stuff like that, basically building out those. and then going in and having direct integrations with the right companies. And it's not always easy. So it's something that
I'm sure.
we're using everything we got, our connections, everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say, man, to the first time, CRM user? Why would they purchase your product over, a simple, less expensive version?
Yeah.
What are the advantages and any disadvantages to that, would you say?
I would say think long term.
Hmm.
Right now, if you just look at GHL, there's over 50,000 people selling it. And think about that. 50,000 people. We know that businesses within the first 5 years, how many percent of businesses go out of business? How much of the long haul are they in for? And if they're selling it for too cheap, then they don't know something that's around the corner. For us, this isn't our first rodeo. And we know what it's like to sell something for too little and then be sitting there on the back end and not being able to afford to grow to the future.
Mm.
For us, this is not a 2-year, 3-year plan. And that's why I scrapped pretty much everything else I was doing. And I said, this is my life.
Mm.
This is what I'm doing for the next 10, 20 years. And the only reason I would move out of it is if I knew that everybody that came into our system was being put into better hands and bigger hands because I was handing off the torch to somebody that could take it to that next level. Maybe I need to step out because, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not the best man for the job. Maybe I'm not the best person to run uprank in 10, 20 years. Maybe I do want a little bit more freedom in my time and a little bit more availability. Well, guess what? There
Yeah.
will be people that want to buy us out.
Oh yeah.
And
So
that's
are you
kind of
scaling?
how I'm thinking.
Are you scaling this? Like, how have you scaled your CRM business? I mean, are you planning? Do you pull yourself out? How heavily invested time wise are you in the business working
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. So right now I am 100% into this thing. I was up at 4 a.m. this morning
Oh man.
working on stuff.
Hmm.
And it's now 7:15 here. So,
Yeah.
and I've been going just nonstop all day. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm just going to keep on going.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm super heavily invested, but I also find the balance. And I urge anybody who's listening, like find the balance to your life, and work-life balance is never perfect. Like it's not, it's kind of something you're always striving for. You'll never truly get there. But when you strive for it, like I'm in my office right now. We have an office here, and then my wife and daughter, 3-year-old daughter, just stopped by to hang out just for a little bit before this. And
Hmm.
so I find that time. Yesterday, I took my 3-year-old
Yeah.
to the gym to work out.
Hmm.
So I find that time for them to make it a part of our family, to make it a part of my life,
Yeah.
and I'm making sure, yeah, I'm vested 100% and we are
Yeah.
scaling this,
Yeah.
but I would never, I would step away from it and sell it to somebody or put somebody in charge of it that's, as good as me or better
Hmm.
before I'd let it get between my family and me. So
Nice. I love
that's
that.
that for me is like the number one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome, man. I love that. Family, I always say family first, man.
Yeah.
I almost lost my wife from working too much and losing my focus. It's a real thing, man. It can
Yeah.
happen.
It is.
Um, cool, man. So let's see. What is there anything else you want to talk to us about the
Yeah.
CRM? Just go into, how it works and how user friendly it is, maybe.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna start. I
You're
have a
gonna do
couple notes. I don't really have an agenda for tonight.
perfect.
I just have a couple notes that, I was thinking about, when people come in here, like for us, it's more than just a CRM.
Yeah.
We are a sales and marketing suite built on top of a CRM.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, like I was in a meeting not too long ago, and the word marketing was being thrown around a lot. And, I made the comment, I said, I think the problem here is nobody has defined the word marketing. If
Mhm.
you ask 100 different people about what is marketing, you're going to get 150 different answers because some people will come back with multiple answers because they either don't know or they're just die hard on, oh, you got to do this style marketing. You got to do this type of marketing. but marketing isn't about like throwing something at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
It's a lot deeper than that. And I like to always take it first to the root and then to the next step. So like if you look at marketing, let's go to the root word, which is to advertise. And what is to advertise? To advertise is to make known. It's very simple, just to make known. And so then you have to ask yourself, what am I making known? Because if you just dive into it, a CRM is super helpful to organize your business, which is great. So you have, your Scrum boards, you can put your contacts on, you can see where they are in the pipeline, you can have your client list, you can reach out to them, all of that kind of stuff. But the one thing that you have is if you don't know your message when you reach out to them, you're going to confuse them. And so you always start with your messaging. What do you want to be known as? And what do you want to be portrayed as? And what do you want people to read as they read your message? What do you want them to think about? Like, how do you want them to think of you? One of the people that I was working with not too long ago, they made a comment that, they were like, you know what? The one thing I love about working with you, because they were a bigger client, they were doing a lot of marketing with us. And because we do some marketing for larger companies, we kind of stepped out of that game just because we're so focused on the CRM now and uprank. But they said to me, one thing that I love working with you is you're very family oriented. You're very personal, and you're like, it's like working with my friend. Like you don't get mad about things. You just kind of have this chill attitude. And that's what I've been trying to portray. That's what I want to portray because that's who I am. I think you should enjoy doing business. You should enjoy doing things that you do. And so that's a big part of my messaging and what I want to portray. Value is another part. Like we always try to give value. If I have to get on a call with somebody, I'll get on a call, whether, they're paying $299 a month or $20,000 a month, I will get on that call. It does not matter to me because to me, it's about the person and taking care of the person. And so that's what I want to portray. So you got to look into yourself and say, what do I want to portray in my messaging? What am I trying to get people to understand about me? Once you figure that out, once you get that messaging down and you realize, okay, this is what I want to be known as. Now the question comes in marketing, where do I start? And I always tell people, go to the lowest hanging fruit. That's the first thing. The lowest hanging fruit. Figure out where is the lowest hanging fruit, because too many times what people will do is they'll jump out and say, oh, PPC is really big right now. I got to go do PPC. Well, then they realize that PPC is outside their budget, and then they draw back and they say, I can't afford that. Or they realize in their area that PPC is costing, $250, $300 per click. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't do that because it's going to take me 10 clicks to get one property. And that's great, but I just don't have that. I just don't have that faith in this that I'm actually going to get one property out of the 10 clicks. Yeah. Thank you for saying PPC is pay per click. I saw that in the chat here. And so figure out what is your lowest hanging fruit. Like I said, that one string from the sweater that you're going to pull, and you're just going to keep pulling on it and don't give up on it. Yeah. And as you have that now you have marketing. Now you're actually going out there and you're doing something. And then it's about like what we talked about a little bit earlier, being consistent. Yeah. And I can't remember if that was before we got on or right after.
That was before that we recorded. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I made a comment
how
about
important is consistency, brother?
Yeah. Consistency is super important. It's like the New Year's goals. It's like saying, hey, I'm going to go to the gym and stop eating cookies for the new year. And I'm going to do this every single day. And then week 2 comes in and you're like, oh, this bed is so warm. Oh, that cookie smells so good. It's being baked in the oven. And then all of a sudden it's downhill. Marketing's the same way. It's consistency, doing it over and over again. And just making sure you do that. Yeah.
Week 2, bro. So we got to touch on this real quick. I heard a statistic. Okay. At WealthCon, right? I think Ryan Pineda was talking about it. He said 90% of people who put down a New Year's resolution will quit by January 30th, 90% of those will have given up on that already,
That's
on that New
crazy.
Year's resolution. Is that wild?
That is, I don't
Oh
actually
man.
I don't set goals. I actually stopped setting goals a while ago. Might be
Really?
kind of controversial in here.
That's interesting.
Um, I
Tell us
actually,
more about that. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
interested to hear this.
yeah. First, can I get a 1 in the room if you set goals this new year, and a 2 if you set 0 goals this year? I'm just curious to see. Okay, we got a lot of 1s. Okay, I'm gonna be. Oh, we got a 2. Okay, I won't be too controversial. 1 and 2. Okay, cool.
My goals are up here, bro.
Exactly. So I used to do that. I used to write them all down. I used to do all this stuff. But instead, what I did this year is, and I started this actually well before. This was like 4 months ago. I started it. And so what I did is I set a goal but not set a goal. Sorry. I said that I'm not going to set any goals. And then what I did is I started setting things that I wanted to change about myself.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe it was a belief system. Maybe it was a mindset. Maybe it was something I wanted to heal from the past because I realized that that kept coming up in my life. And I said, okay, I'm going to work on this part of myself. And what I found is that I started crushing goals that I didn't even know I had. Okay. Because instead of limiting myself in a box and saying, okay, here's the goal. We're going to get, we're going to reach, 1,000 users. We're going to reach 10,000 users. We're going to get this much in marketing out there. We're going to, whatever the goal may be. Instead of saying that, I said, all right, I'm going to fix my belief system and I'm going to better myself. So one of the things that I've been working on is to have a faith so deep in God that I am shoring up anything that I don't have inside of me. So if I walk into a meeting and I'm not ready because these guys are all, decamillionaires and billionaires and stuff like that, and I'm like, holy cow, guess what? My faith in God stands with me because
Mm.
I believe he can shore up anything that I need him to shore up. A mindset that is so strong that it won't settle for anything but the best. So there's things like that that I started working on about myself. And what I found is I knew where I wanted to be and I knew where I wanted to go. And so I automatically just started going after it harder and harder and harder. So
Nice.
yeah. So that's
Mm.
where I didn't set any financial goals. I didn't say I'm going to do this goal and I'm going to do that goal. Instead, I just said, we're going to crush it and we're going to go after it. And let me tell you, I did that like 4 months ago and
Army crawl.
it entered the new year and it's amazing. Super cool. So I know it
Awesome,
has
man.
nothing
That's
to do with
wild, bro.
CRMs, but
That's crazy. I want to bring Damon on here in a sec. I just wanted to say real quick about the goal setting. I just talking about people how important it is to set. So here's the thing for me: the goal is not the end result. The goal is just part of the journey, man. And
yeah,
that's the biggest thing that people get wrong is the goal, and then that's it.
yeah,
You got to
yeah,
keep going and keep setting and keep. If you are going to set goals, you can't just say. You have to have a plan for years out. That's the thing.
absolutely.
Like Brandon Turner teaches that a lot. 5 year, we have a 5 year plan, and then a
Hmm.
yearly, and then a quarterly, a monthly, a
Yeah,
weekly, a daily. Just KPIs.
yeah,
Tracking those, right?
absolutely.
But
And those are super important. And we do
yeah,
have those. So don't
yeah.
think that we like scrapped all of that. But what I did instead of saying those, oh, I'm going to make New Year's goals.
Mhm.
I said, I'm going to just focus on being a better leader, being a better husband, being a better father. And these are the activities I'm going to do that. And
Nice.
then in the end, guess what the result is? You do. I mean, think about it. What if your goal is truly to lose weight? Come into the new year, it's truly to lose weight, but you can't control the cookies. You can't control the pie. You can't control getting up in the morning because you just want that warm, cozy bed. You're going to give into that. But if your why becomes so deep
Mhm.
that those little things like cookies and pie and, the warm bed can't get in the way
So
because you're
funny.
just so strong, then you're just going to crush it because you're going to go after it
Look,
hardcore.
my wife just brought me. I can't believe it. She just walked in for homemade cookies and milk. And I've been on a health journey for over a year now, man. And
That's
I've done really
hilarious.
well. But dude, I've been working out almost every day and
That's awesome.
eating clean. But
That's great.
yeah, Jim Quick talks about it a lot in his book I'm reading right now. The Limitless book, man, super good.
Mm,
Pace paid for like a ton of copies. Like almost
yeah,
everyone in Step 2 had a chance to get a free copy. And I've been reading it. It's super good, man. It's talking about um, you know, about having the healthier, the better foods you eat, the better you're gonna
yep,
think, and your recognizance and all everything's tied in, man. So I've been
it
really
is.
working a lot on health, being healthy in all areas of my life,
That's
because
awesome.
it's like
Yeah.
balance, like you talked about earlier. The more healthy I can be physically, the better I can be mentally, the more, and at the end of the day, it's like you were saying, it's like we just want to be the best version of ourselves so we can give more,
Hmm.
of ourselves. Like that's kind of really what it is, I think, for people like us in the room. Damon, you want to hop on, bro? Damon's at jujitsu with his son, or his son, right?
Yeah, yeah, man, my
Yeah, bro.
son. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm in
That's
my
awesome.
car, but
You're all good.
yeah, normally I'm on co-hosting with Lance from my desktop, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, I got some questions for you because
Yeah,
and
go
the
for
reason
it.
why I find this talk interesting, like I'm a software engineer, but I'm also an investor and I build, enterprise software and as I went into my real estate journey initially as a real estate agent, I kept thinking like, damn, all of the software on the market is absolutely it's garbage for lack of a better word. So I'm just gonna pick a CRM and go with it. And then I've been using Follow Up Boss for a long time, but then these guys, Lance and Justin, guys in the room, had told me about Go High Level. And
Hmm.
so, of course, I started looking into it and I've been blown away. I actually officially signed on with them today. But I, like you, so I've got some things that I want to do with it, right? Because
Hmm.
my techie mind, being an engineer, I can write any code that there is, right? I can attach, if there's an API, I can do it. And so that's the part that I find really interesting about Go High Level, right? Yes, it's
Hmm.
a CRM, but there are so many things getting built on. There are so many things that are a piece of this thing, right? The idea became kind of limitless. So I was like, yeah, well, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a real estate investor. I know that really well. And I understand from the real estate agent's perspective,
Hmm.
right? They have to be out in the field trying to sell houses, or the investor is closing houses, whatever. But with Go High Level, you can create not only, I guess, the marketing per se, but also the automation of bringing in other agents. Like, hey, I understand it from your perspective. Let me create some automation in your business. So if you were an agent, if you were an investor, if you were me, right, and you've
Hmm.
got a little bit of a techie mind to be able to connect some of this stuff, where would you really start with that string in Go High Level, right? Because I now am connecting the phone numbers, connecting the emails, doing all of that base level stuff. And I'm going to build the website in there, which I thought was really cool today because I was like, man, I'm going to have to build a WordPress site with the IDX integration. But no, Go High Level has they've scaled that where you can actually use a template and then engage the IDX
Hmm.
with it. So once I get some of these base things, right, base things done, where would you start building building out these automations and Go High Level, so that if the intent to eventually be a digital marketer, and the way I look at it is not necessarily sales, but passing on some of my know-how to others, right?
Hmm.
Where would you start with that?
Okay. So that's a long journey there.
That's a long
Um,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So actually something I don't know, were you on were you able to hear from the beginning? Because I mentioned a
I
few
wasn't,
things.
man.
So
No, I didn't. I
okay,
didn't.
cool.
Yeah, I didn't get to jump on like the first 6 or 7 minutes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, so I'll just kind of draw back some of the things I said and I'll just kind of reiterate them to be a little bit deeper again. So if you look at GHL or Go High Level, either one, or High Level, like there's tons of names for them. So it just depends on who you're talking to.
Right.
When you look at it, I mentioned how it's the shell. Okay. So you're buying the shell, you're getting the shell. And then basically their goal is to help marketers or agencies to basically then build out that shell. They basically say, here's the shell. Now you go build it out, you put it into action, you make it work. And so they don't build out that. Now they say they have like snapshots and
Yeah.
stuff.
Very
They're very, very basic. And then basically the person goes, builds it out, puts it into action. Now with high level, there's, 50,000 people that are, out there marketing the software, selling their own version of the software.
Mhm.
Most of the people are not, they don't even have a background in marketing. They don't have any understanding of marketing. Many of them are newbie business owners who just said, oh, hey, this is a low price of barrier to get in. I can get into this for, a few $100 a month to start. And then they go out and they start selling it. And what I've seen so often is so many of them start selling it. And then they come back and go, I sold my first 5-6 clients. I don't know what to do.
Mm,
I don't know how to actually help them. I don't know what to give them because, and then you find out that they don't even know about that industry.
mm.
They don't understand that industry. So for you, like my recommendation would be, the industry. So spend your time actually using it and building it in the industry for yourself, testing it on your side, and then you have something
Well, yeah, let me
yeah,
clarify my
yeah,
question, man.
yeah,
Because for me, I understand you are right. I understand the industry. And I know that particular, like, I'm not like, well, I'm a software engineer. Now I'm going to become a digital marketer and I'm just going to get this. It
right.
takes time. It will
Takes time.
probably
Yep.
take, at least 6 months or longer to build all of this base stuff out. Where I was headed with that
Mm-hmm.
more is as the real estate agent, right? Because
Yep.
I think getting a niche and sticking to that and being the best marketer for that real estate agent that you can be and then branch out later on, right, is important. So if you're the real estate agent like myself, that's
Mm-hmm.
where I'm going to start. Real estate agent and property management company, because I have quite a few properties and I have a property management company.
Yep.
I was really going to base it right there, right? So, like,
Okay.
as a real estate agent and go high level, where would you concentrate on pulling that string, right? With go high level, like, what are some of the base things that you would, you know, position or put into that to start
I
to make
gotcha.
it an efficient tool for you, right?
I gotcha.
Basic high level view, right? Because I know there's a
Yeah.
lot.
So
You just hire Michael, and get
Yeah, yeah,
Uprank
yeah,
Pro.
yeah. There you go. That's it.
So I'm going to say this from a point of view with any CRM, because it really works with most. If you look at the vast array of how many different companies there are, it really works with most of them. The first thing you want to think about is the customer journey.
Mm,
And you want to think about, there are so many features. For example, like in Uprank, we even have more things than high level has. We have different things,
mhm.
and we have more things rolling out. Like we have AI ads rolling out very soon, and basically AI is going to be able to run your pay-per-click marketing on Google. It'll be able to run your Facebook ads. It'll basically, you'll just put in the basics, and then it'll sit there and watch and figure out which ad's working better than the other ad. Now
That,
that is not a high level thing. That's
yeah.
totally separate, because we build on top of them as our base, just for the CRM side, just because, hey, it's better, to get a good strong skeleton and then
Mhm.
build everything on top of it. It's just why reinvent the wheel. And so for us, we started with looking at the customer journey. We started with mapping out the sales funnel, the pipeline, all of that. And then we said, okay, from here, what do people need to receive in messaging? The problem with most CRM systems and most people's build out of a CRM is they complicate it, and they make it too hard. Simplifying your messaging, simplifying your responses, simplifying your workflows, I've been inside of workflows with guys, and there's usually, it's funny because it's usually, you know, you get this battle between the marketer and the techie guy, and then they're like battling of, you know, oh, what's right, having these really crazy workflows that look like octopus legs going out, until you're like sitting there going, I don't know what goes with what. And when one thing breaks in that, all of a sudden the whole system goes down. So if you look like inside of our system, we keep workflows as simple as possible. The only time that we do where we have multiple, you know, if else's and multiple arms inside of our automations is when, you know, we are looking at different answers or we're trying to throw somebody into a different bucket. But if it needs to be built out into 3 workflows, we'll build it out in 3 workflows before we build it out into just one and try to shove everything into one. And so you build out the pipeline. With UpRank, we already give for investors, for gators, for lenders, we already give you the pipeline. So we all have that. We have that mapped out. Then we also have the workflows mapped out and stuff like that. But that would be the next area. After the pipeline, you figure out the workflows, and then you connect it to your website. Then you connect it into the forms and stuff like that. And in our system, we have all those things. Plus, then, like I said, we're adding the AI ads in. We have our own AI chatbot that we're going to be rolling out here. It is separate from GHL's. It's separate from anybody else, any other CRMs, because we didn't like the solutions, and so we played with like a ton of different use cases, and we just liked what we got and liked what we had, and so we put it in. We're going to be rolling that one out as well. Does that kind of answer your question of where to start at?
Man,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was looking for, right? Because it gives me the place to start, right? At that high level, like come in, look at your pipeline, then move into your flows, that right. And that was really what I was looking at, is like where would you concentrate if you were going 1, 2, 3, 4?
Right.
So that, because it's overwhelming, man. Like when you first to go high level, you're like, you know, holy shit, there's like 300 things I could do in here, you know? Yeah. Amazing. Well,
stay simple.
Yeah. So man, that it's really cool how you're doing that. And so I think, like, if you, just one other question and then I'll turn it back over to Lance. But if you look into the future, you're doing this AI bot and chat and all of that. Are you still niching in with the people that you're working with, or are you starting to branch out into other niches? Like, hey, you know, we are a digital marketing company that can help anyone, or are you still concentrating, you know, in a certain area?
Yeah. So I think our main, I mean, we have plumbers. We have a co-working space that's on our system. We have outside people. That's not what we specialize in. And we let them know that, hey, this is what we specialize in. This is what we can help you with that. But it's not our main focus. Our main focus, I don't see us stepping out of real estate for a very long time. And the day that comes is the day that I can build a division that's focused on that style of business, because restaurants are very different than, you know, a lender. I understand lenders. I understand investors. I understand agents. I understand that side of stuff. A restaurant's very different. And whereas I might understand a little bit about a restaurant, I've never ran one myself. I've never been around it enough. I've never been in teams of, you know, restaurant owners and groups and been around those people. So I would want somebody to run a division. So that would be a totally separate division, but I don't see it happening as of right now.
Well, yeah, that makes sense from the business standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, you really want, I feel like, to be I guess the best business owner that you can be, right? You have to, hey, I am the best digital marketer for a real estate person to use, right? And I think, yeah, that's really smart. I think problem is a lot of the tech guys or marketers, man, they start trying to broaden their base out so far that they get overwhelmed. They're like they go from being in a fishbowl to being in the ocean, and then I can't keep up.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, even as as an investor, real estate investor, like, you gotta, I mean, your niche could be the city that you are in. Your niche could be multifamily. Your niche could be single family homes, but you've got to find something that just makes the system and the process easier and faster. And it's more scalable, more repeatable. And so I think that's why we basically have said, no, this is where we're going to stay. I'm not going to turn people away. I mean, if they want to use our system, I'm like, great, this is our base. This is what we focus on. But, and we've had actually other marketers come in and say, hey, like we have a guy that we're talking to right now, and he wants to bring a bunch of accounts that have nothing to do with real estate. And he's like, I just would like to bring a bunch of accounts to you guys. Would you be okay with that? And we're trying to figure out, like, is that what's best for the company? Is that what's best for the community? Stuff like that.
Well, I love that, man. I appreciate you for coming on. It's a
No problem.
wealth of knowledge, especially when you're first starting out with a platform like this. Going from follow-up boss over to go high level is like it's like going from just the dial up to overnight that we have. So
That's funny. Awesome.
Well, thank you
Thanks,
so
David.
much. I appreciate it.
Judo chop.
They
Awesome.
don't chop in judo.
I know. Well, really? Because that's what Austin Powers judo.
He's in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, isn't he?
Yeah, it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's totally different.
I know.
Yeah. Well, judo and jiu-jitsu are kind of the same. Yeah.
Awesome,
like
dude.
when you're in the gi, judo's important, but when you're out of the gi, wrestling's important. Well,
yeah, absolutely.
I happen to be a wrestler, so I feel like this sub 2 community, man, they keep agging on a go between me and Abraham, man. It's been like brewing for a year now.
Ooh.
Oh man, I can't wait.
I'd say I'm gonna make a post right now in sub 2 after we're done.
we're gonna
do
it,
Abraham in it, bro.
We're gonna do it live on the podcast.
We're doing it Squad Up Summit.
You just tell Abraham I saw him grappling out in the park with those guys, man. He got his work.
That's right.
I love it. All right, man.
All right, sweet.
Well, thank you.
Juan, did you want to come on, man? You're in the, you've been using CRMs for a long time. Why don't you come on up and add some value here, bro? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a CRM myself. I've actually been considering switching CRMs. But of course, we understand the toll it can take, right? It's not just an easy conversion as we would all like it to be.
What are you in? What CRM are you using?
So I have a version off of FreedomSoft.
Okay. I'm familiar
And
with them.
the one that I've actually been considering is Investor Fuse.
Okay.
Obviously I looked at Podio and some of these other ones, and there's kind of a love and hate relationship with Podio with a lot of investors, right? Some people love it. They love the flexibility. They love, how open it is, but, others hate it for that reason. So, it just really depends. Right. So, I mean, I would love to hear, I would love to look at your product a little bit more, because if I'm going to consider, switching, I want to make sure it's something that is user friendly, something that you can scale. And of course would love to maybe, I mean, I mean, you talked about it already, but I take it that we will eventually get your contact information so people can reach out.
Actually, if you want to put it into, actually, hold on. Is there a way to, let me see. I have a question in the.
Yeah, or maybe you can even just drop it in the chat and just put on, maybe if you have like some sort of like demo appointment.
Yeah, if you actually go to uprankpro.com.
Uprank. Okay.
Yep, you can actually sign up for the demo. There we go. I just put it in the chat.
Sweet.
So it's just uprankpro.com. You can sign up for the demo. There's a video on there that will kind of outline it, a short video. And then it's about, I think it's like a 40-minute demo that goes through a lot of the pieces of our system, but it does not go through everything. Because we're constantly adding and changing and adjusting things, making them better as much as we can on our side as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be sure to check it out, because again, as I'm considering it, this FreedomSoft is not, it's not one that a lot of people are familiar with or know. And you know, one of the biggest things that intrigued me about Freedom Logic or Freedom Soft
Mhm.
is they tried to make it an all-in-one system. So from it, I can, you know, generate contracts. From it, I can, you know, get signatures. So it's kind of like it's embedded DocuSign in it, right? Then you also have embedded calling and texting, and it's got those features as well. So there's some great things that they tried to do with it. They almost made it to the point of trying to make it an all-in-one encompassing tool. I think a lot of times it's great that you have that you have a tool that can do all-encompassing, but man, I think sometimes it actually is can work against you. Because because what ends up happening is what I've seen is DocuSign is the standard, right? DocuSign is the standard of the market space. Well, guess what? The one that I have on my CRM seems to be like a dumbed down version of DocuSign, right?
Okay.
And so like mine doesn't have timestamps on it, right? And you know, so now you're looking at it going, okay, that's all, it's great that it's in there, it makes it easier on me, but is it really that much better, right? Or, you know, or yeah, it's going to take me a little bit more time to generate a DocuSign aside from, you know, the CRM.
Right.
So hope I'm not taking too much time here, but I
No,
just
you're
want to
good.
just kind of express what I've seen, right, from my experience with my CRM, and ultimately what I'm looking for, you know, jumping onto my next CRM, something that can give us, you know, again, I want it to be ease of use. I want it to the point where, like, you know, I hire VAs, right? So right now I have a VA from the Philippines. I don't have a lot of time to be sitting down training, you know, individuals, right? And sitting
Right.
down and kind of walking them through how to do all these tasks within the CRM. So if I can get a CRM that's, you know, easy to use, guess what? It's also going to be easy to train.
Yeah, and I think a big thing is always making sure, like with us, we have 24/7 support. We have a whole library of help docs on the features. And I think that that's where there's a lot out there that don't have those things. And so it's like always having those things. Another thing that we are actually for 2024, it's on our roadmap to focus really heavy on, because we have a base version of it of Uprank Academy to get people rolling. But the goal of Uprank Academy is going to be to actually like break things down for them. Why do you do this? And how to train your, you know, basically, like you said, your VAs, giving them all access to Uprank Academy. And making sure that they have access to that too, so that they can learn, you know, how to use this feature and how to go more in depth with a certain feature inside the system. One of the things you mentioned was DocuSign and calling and texting. We do have that in ours. We do have time stamping and date stamping, all that stuff. We actually give a certificate for all of the signatures. It's like, it's basically just like what DocuSign gives. It's a signature certificate,
Right.
and stuff. And you can upload it from a PDF, or you can manually like basically copy and paste your documents in, building out templates and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As well.
And I take it that you guys do a really good job of PPC conversion all over to through. Do you do it through Zapier or
Doing what now?
so like PPC leads that come in?
Oh,
right?
got it. Yeah. Yeah. You can, if you have PPC, depending on who you're using, and stuff like that. If you're using Google and you're just trying to get yours directly, then yeah, we can actually integrate directly with Google.
Yeah.
And then they'll just, you know, it's a Google lead form you fill out,
Yeah.
and it'll come right into our system. But if you're using like a provider, some people use a PPC provider, and they're getting basically like a Google sheet that's being filled out for them with the leads, then in that case, you can actually have those also just either zapped in. There's a couple other ways to move them in as well from a Google sheet.
Gotcha.
That would be in time. So like basically the lead comes onto the sheet, the lead comes into the system type thing.
Gotcha. Okay. That's great, man.
Sweet,
Yeah,
man.
I'm excited to take a look at your product,
Yeah,
Michael. I appreciate
definitely.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Juan.
And then
Awesome,
I did
bro.
have a question in the group I saw here.
Yes.
And basically it was, has anyone used HubSpot? Yeah. So HubSpot is basically, just for those who don't know what HubSpot is a very large company CRM. They're one of the bigger industry CRMs. I think they're worth like $28 billion. And then Salesforce is another large industry CRM. They're worth like 260 billion, I think. So that just kind of gives you the idea of how big they are. HubSpot is a good tool. They have a lot of great tools inside of them. I will tell you, find out what plan you would truly be on for your business, because they have, like, we have one plan to fit everything. They have multiple tiers and multiple plans. And when I say multiple, there's like 20 different plans you could be on. We actually had a company, a larger lending company, move to us from HubSpot, and their bill, I want to say it was like 25,000 a year. I think it was somewhere around that. We've had a couple companies come in from HubSpot and their bills were like 20 to 25,000 because they had like the marketing suite, like the big thing. And so it's just always good when you're even if you're like, oh, I'll never need it that big. You never know where your business is going to go.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's good to know, like, okay, this is gonna,
Do you want something you can grow into that will grow with you? Like, that's what I love about you. I was on the fence. I didn't know about, I'd never had a CRM and it was all new to me. And I just wanted to, let everyone know how great you and Angela were onboarding us. And like, here's the thing, we just didn't use it for a couple months. So we had to freaking relearn it. But they taught, we spent hours with them. They were teaching and training, and it was great. And they have a lot of content as well, video trainings and whatnot, and Loom videos, right, that you can reference. So I just wanted to throw that out. We have a couple of questions here. Let's take a couple questions. And Justin, what's up, bro?
Hey,
come on up.
Hey, Lance. Hey, Michael. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Justin.
So I think I switched over to Go High Level not too long ago. I do multifamily syndication, and I think it's a fantastic tool. I think it's worth distinguishing to everyone on here that is not just a CRM, but it's email marketing, it's social media marketing, it's AI texting, it's building out of courses, video hosting, website hosting, all of these things that you spend all this money on from one program to the next, and it's all consolidated, right? And so I think that's a huge distinguishing factor in the Go high level platform. So given that we have people on here that range from familiarity with CRM, maybe some people that don't use them at all, and given that your platform is built upon and probably a lot more robust than your standard Go high level, can you just give a brief explanation on what this would do just in transforming someone's business?
Got it. Actually, so does this go out as podcast form, or can I share my screen? Does it matter?
You can share your screen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. So hold on, let me. Oh, can you give me ability?
Lance, you'd have to do that.
There we go. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to jump right into, this is actually a demo account, but it's based off of our investors account. So you'll be able to see. So the first thing that we always say is, I come on calls with so many people, and I've talked to so many people about their business, and they're either in a document trying to keep all the data points. They're literally back of napkin. I've talked to people that literally they were writing down their info about properties and houses. And I was like, how's that working for you? Like, you can only do so much. With UpRank, we give you unlimited, pretty much everything. Like we do unlimited on the contacts. We give you unlimited fields inside the contact. So if I drop into this contact here, I can build out any field that I want. This is how it's built out right now. These are all the different folders. And so like, this is the property information, different stuff like that. And this all comes pre-populated inside the system for you, but you can easily then, if you wanted more data points on the property, then you could actually build that out very easily. It's literally a few clicks of a button, just telling it what you want to be putting here. And then keeping that all organized in one place. So having the organized business is the most important part, I feel, when it comes to a CRM. But like we've talked about, distinguishing from the difference, because this isn't just a CRM. A CRM is literally made up of, if we look here, the CRM is made up of your contacts. So being able to carry all your contacts, have all your contacts in one place. An opportunities board. So you got your pipelines here. You got your seller pipeline, your JV pipeline, your dispositions pipeline, your cash buyers list, your private money, your agent partners, EMD money. And then these are just other ones, because you can build as many as you need here. It doesn't really matter. So that's another part of the CRM. And so those are the two main parts of a CRM. Most CRMs have this and they have this. Now, they're not always as robust. They don't always give you as many features, but in essence, this is what they have. But it goes a step further. So instead of having Calendly, you can have in one system, you can have your whole entire calendar system. So you build out your calendars. I don't know why it's not populating right now. There we go. So you can build out all your calendars. Now I do have some fake appointments here. You can figure out, if the person showed, if they didn't show. And again, you can build out as many calendars as you need. You can do round robins. You can do group calendars. You could do classes technically if you were doing some type of education along with your business or your platform. And so there's all different types of stuff like that. So now all of a sudden you're connecting a calendar into a CRM. And then we get into, now we do have, payment gateways, but we also have the documents and contracts right here that I was talking about. Let's talk about the DocuSign. So being able to go in here and build out your templates and be able to either just build it out by copy and pasting or uploading a PDF and going that route. And this builds out your documents so that you can send those out, have them signed. And so that's just the step up from there. So now I forgot one other part, the conversations, keeping all your conversations in one spot. So not all CRMs do this, as you just mentioned. Like some CRMs do this, some CRMs don't do this. It just depends. But now below the line is where you start getting into all the marketing. So you have a social media planner. So if you're posting on social media, then you can go in here and you can, post on social media. You can have AI help you write your content for you. You can do emails. You can have AI help you with that. See, this is where you move from a CRM to a marketing suite. And so now you have basically a social media planner. So like one of the other social media planners out there, you have it right inside of here. Your email system. So it's like a MailChimp, think of MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, all of those different types of email marketing tools. You have it right inside of here. So now you move down, these are your automations. So automations basically build out, so your workflows, all that kind of stuff. Each one of these, like I was saying, you can buy shell accounts with people, and then you can buy something like this where it comes with everything. So you got these that work with your property, basically. There we go. So I was talking about the simplicity of going down instead of always building out like this. Here, I'll show you appointment reminders. This is probably one of the more complex, I would say, as you get down here, because it's basically just trying to figure out how did they respond, if they're going to be confirmed or not for your basically for your appointments. And so being pretty simple, still not crisscrossing too much stuff, because if you can't understand it by looking at it, then when something breaks or when you're looking to replace a message, it makes it a lot harder. And so as you start doing this now you're adding in, like I said, that marketing suite. And then you're also adding in not only a CRM marketing suite, you're also adding in a CMS with it, which is your content management system. So you have funnels, like a ClickFunnels, you have websites that are built inside. You can go in, build out your websites. You could technically, if you'd like to, we have the ability to hook up a WordPress site inside here as well. Most people have their website built inside of here, inside of the system directly. You can start a blog, you can blog to help with your SEO. There's I mean, now it just starts getting more and more. You have a chat widget on here. So we have a chat widget. You can edit it however you want. So this is an on-site chat bubble that will pop up down here. You have memberships. I know somebody mentioned that, memberships for education. So you have, one of the new things that we're doing and we have in here as well is the communities feature. So you can create communities inside. And it's kind of like, think of like a Discord channel built inside of your own system, and your own URL and your own membership area and stuff. Reputation, if you're looking for like building up your Google business profile. So if you do a lot of local business, if you're doing a lot of local wholesaling, a lot of local investment, it's really good to be noticed on Google, because when people, you can always run the ads, but people will search you and they will try to find you. So being able to, make sure your reviews are up, your reputation is up, people are being able to search you and they're finding you locally. That's always good. We have all the reporting and everything. A couple other things that these are kind of like, these aren't out, they're rolling out. A couple of them are in beta accounts right now. This one I actually cannot show you. It's totally in beta. It's not even allowed to be forward faced at all. So I can't show you this yet. It's basically a whole project management system that is going to be able to build, basically, if you're doing a fix and flip, you can set up all your projects inside of it. So think of like a Trello board, or, like a Motion or anything like that, any of those types of project management systems, it will be inside of here as well. That's down the road. I have it in this account because somebody was testing it out, I think earlier today and stuff, but they told me not to show it to anybody. So, and then AI ads, I've mentioned that many times. AI ads works on all the different ads platforms. And basically what happens is AI helps you to write the ad. You go in and it's already helped me to write this ad. It will actually pull videos or images for you. You can also upload your own as well. And then what it will do is it'll take these variations of the text, these variations, and you have to just basically go into answer a few questions. The AI will write it, and then you can go in and edit it. And it'll take all these variations with the variations of different photos or videos, whatever you choose, and then it'll push them all out. And it will start to push them out to the audience that you select out of the gate. And then it'll start to pull back the ads that don't work so well and push forward the ads that do work well. And it'll start to figure out different things that it needs to do. So it kind of helps you out as kind of, think about it as a marketing assistant. I always tell people, don't just throw, the people who are doing this in beta, don't just throw everything in it and just never touch it. Make sure you come back and check on it, stuff like that. Just like anything inside your business, you need to keep an eye and keep a pulse on it. But AI will track all of the metrics and make sure everything's moving forward for you. And so those are kind of, that's kind of a like a 5-minute overview of the system, because I know that people have probably been sitting here going, okay, what does this thing even look like? What's this thing even like? And stuff. And like you said, what's the difference between the CRM and then all of these other tools that are inside the system?
Yeah. I think that really is helpful.
Yeah. And I didn't even, I'll be honest, for many, I didn't even like brush the surface of what's inside of here. There's literally we did a count on it, over 70 different softwares that are built into this one right here. So literally I have people that'll be like, oh my gosh, I got to cancel this and this and this. Wow, I love this.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Michael, can you give me the host back, man?
And
yeah.
Are you done? Okay.
Oh, I wanted to see your screen real quick.
Perfect.
How do I do that?
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me share it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me admit somebody though. I didn't realize I got full host here.
Yeah. I don't know how to do the co-host. I don't know why, man. I need to figure that out. I can never find co-host anywhere. But
all right, let me go back here, admit them. How do I do that?
We always have someone show up in the wrong time zone right at the end. Like
there we go.
3 people.
There we go. I got them. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Cool. So I have been using Upbreak with Lance for like 6 months now, and I love it.
Mhm.
It's like anyone else who's like thinking about it, like I highly recommend it. But one of the things that you just kind of glazed over that I think is really powerful is the conversations tab, how that's all of your text messages, all of your emails, all of the phone calls, all in one inbox. So you don't have to go manage them in your email inbox and your text on your phone. Like it's all in one. So if you have a text message and then an email and then a phone call, you can see all of those events in chronological order here. So I love that feature. It's like one of my favorite things to not have to manage like the phone and the email inbox and all of that. So I highly recommend that specific like this because of that feature. But
And see, I can even call in it.
Yeah,
For those people who are wondering
There's a
about the
dialer.
phone. Yep. Oop,
Yeah.
Let me.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you is sort of your opinion. I've been helping people and like talking to them about CRMs over the last few months.
Yeah.
At what point do you think a person needs a CRM and then your suite? Because I have like people who are like fresh to this and they're asking me, do I need like this big system now, or like what do I need? I'd like to know your opinion on like if I'm like fresh in this, I have no deals, I'm just getting started. Do I need something like yours, or should I stick to like a Google Docs version, or like just like what's your opinion?
I think the question that they need to ask is just how big do they want to be? Like,
Sure.
Do they want to, they can stick to the Google Docs and stuff, and that's fine. Like it totally works. But if you want to scale and do it fast, then it's going to bottle cap you really quick. Now, I always recommend to people, you're better off starting with something very simple, like a Google Docs, like, like your own phone, like whatever it is, your own email and stuff like that, and starting there, than trying to go and find a simple one, build it out, and then realize it doesn't have what you need in 2-3 months, and have everything over here and then want to move over here. It's like you got to find something that works to grow with your business. So I would say, if you're just starting out, if you're in your first days, man, I would love to, I'm just going to say it live. One of the things that we've been trying to work on is a very basic version.
Nice.
Very basic version that is matched to the Google Docs, but it doesn't come with a ton of features, and it doesn't come with all the email and automations and stuff, but it matches the Google Docs so that as you're starting to build that list, then you can at least have them in the same spot that you're going to grow into.
I really love that answer because from what I've seen, like the people just need the consistency of I have my contacts, I'm following up with them, reaching out to them, and then following up with them, and I have my opportunities. But then I've also seen a few people get overwhelmed with all the bells and whistles, and they think they can't be successful unless they do all of the marketing and the funnels and everything. But then they get overwhelmed with that, and then they don't do anything. So I agree that like more bare bones system would be awesome, that because then they could upgrade and then have the other like bells and whistles. But like just like if you're like new to this, I don't think you need like to worry about all the other stuff. You can like get a platform like this, like you said, so you can grow, so it's already there ready for you. But like people are like worried about like funnels and like my website and like all of this like automation, that they just need to get like the muscle of I'm contacting people and I'm following up with them and I'm making relationships and I'm networking. Like that's the key to getting started and like building out that habit. But people are like, but I need all this other stuff too, and I think they get overwhelmed and they don't do anything.
Yeah. And okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Anybody who is on this call right now, go ahead and go over to Uprank. If you're just starting out, if you're not just starting out, go ahead and get the demo and check it out and stuff. But if you're just starting out and you're like, you know what, I can't even think about doing anything, paying for another subscription or anything like that right now. What I'd say is sign up for the demo, but then inside of this chat right down here, reach out to me. Just reach out to our team and type into the message newbie. Okay, I'm flying off the cuff here. So I'm making this up as I go. But yeah, type in, put in your information and then just put in newbie. And then I will reach out to you. I'll just take and have my team that gets these just kind of shuffle them around. I'll reach out to you sometime tomorrow. I'll probably text you tomorrow. And we'll make sure that you're in line for that very basic version. And I'll make sure, yeah, we take care of you, because you know what? So many people, here's the thing. And I want you just to pay it forward too. That's all I want you to do. So many people helped me out in the beginning when I started in business many, many years ago. I started in entrepreneurship. Oh, wow. Over 20 years ago. So, over 20 years ago, I started in entrepreneurship, and I had so many people always helping me out. Whether my business has made it anywhere or didn't make it, I always had people along the way that helped me out and gave me a leg up. And so I want you guys to do that. Especially if you're a newbie, do the newbie here. If you're like, hey, I gotta move over a big system. I'm doing deals every single month. Sign up here for the demo. We'll also get your information still too. And you can even book a call then if you need to book a call directly with me, but watch that demo, check it out and everything. So, and that's at uprankpro.com. If we can just drop that in the chat.
Sweet. Yeah. And that's really awesome. And I'm sure all of us really appreciate that. I don't want to take away from what you're offering at all. I've been receiving that question from like newbies, and I'm like, I don't think you need to go out and like worry about like this large payment with all this like the bells and whistles. But if you're doing any sort of like even just a few deals, like a system like yours is worth it. But I feel like the system is like like steroids essentially. Like if you're not doing anything, it's not really gonna like help you. But if you're already like doing some things, then it just amplifies it, and it's like a superpower.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I highly recommend Uprank, and I've loved your support as well, as I've been helping Lance. So
yeah,
thumbs up for me.
and then Chad, just make sure you reach out to me if you have some other newbies.
Sure.
And we'll make sure we take care of them too. So cool. I'm going to go ahead and stop share, and then I can give Lance back his.
All right, man, that was great.
All right, hold on. I don't use Zoom very much at all. Oh. Where's the hand back?
I have no idea. Should be down, or if you click on my profile on the little 3 dots on my picture, you should be able to
make host. There you are. Cool.
My guy. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Sweet. Okay, man. Well, that was great, guys. Michael, thank you so much. We ran a little late, man. I thank you for going in. Well, I should have asked you to bring that up earlier, and I need to figure out how to make people co-host. I've been trying to figure that out for a while.
No problem. That's fine.
Hey, Miguel. Hey, Miguel. Easy, my guy. He's laughing at me. Yeah, newbie. There's a newbie in there. Cool. Yeah, man, I just want to say one more time, we really appreciate Michael and Angela. They've been amazing. Their system I was completely lost at first because I'm not techie. I've never used a CRM, but I knew that we wanted to grow into what Michael had, and that's what we're doing. We're already like utilizing a lot of it. I'm going to start automating my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok content. I'm starting to make shorts and reels, and you can basically do like one day, you can put it all in there and you can have it automatically post it to individual platforms, different times, different days of the week. It is amazing. Like super, super cool. So thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
Thanks everybody for hopping on, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.